Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video review. Now in today's video, I'm reviewing this microphone here, the Godox Magic X-T1 microphone. This is probably the smallest microphone I've ever reviewed and came across, which I think is really cool for a lot of social media content creators out there and professionals alike. Now most of the time I actually forget that I'm wearing this thing. That's how light it is, which I'll be talking about the specs a little bit later. Now firstly, before I get into the video, I just want to say if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay notified for my next uploads. And of course, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So before I get on with this microphone review, I just want to say that I would recommend wearing headphones when you're watching this, because as always, I actually review the microphone with the microphone in use, just so you guys can hear the sound quality of it. Now, who is this microphone for? I would actually recommend this microphone for a lot of social media content creators out there, especially if you're a beginner and you just want something simple and cheap to start off with. I wouldn't really recommend it for professional videographers, and I'll be telling you why a little bit later on in this video. Now let's talk about the cost of the microphone before I get into all the features and the unboxing. The microphone will set you back around 200 Australian dollars, which is actually quite cheap for a microphone. If you're going for a more premium microphone, you're probably looking around the $500 mark. Now, depending on where you get this microphone from, it might cost you a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on where you purchase it. From what I found, the average is actually around the $200 mark. So what do you get inside of the Godox Magic X-T1 microphone? So that's pretty much what you get inside of the Godox Magic X-T1 box. Now, I really like the fact that it has magnetic mounts and magnetic clips, so you can just swap them out instead of having the clips fixed to the microphones. So that gives you a whole bunch of different ways to mount your microphones onto your talents or yourself. That comes in handy, especially when I am out there and I'm filming a lot of client videos. People would wear different types of clothing, which can make it difficult if you're trying to clip on like a DJI microphone or something like that. So having it be able to take apart and mount it different ways using magnets and clips, I think that's a really good feature. Another really cool feature that it has is that the transmitters tuck underneath the receiver, so it's able to charge and you can store them there. So that's, you know, quite a unique feature on microphones. I've actually never seen this feature before, so I think that's a really cool thing about it. So I just want to quickly talk about the build quality of it. Now, the build quality of this is actually quite plasticky, which is a bit of a shame. It would be nice if it felt a little bit more robust and durable, but to be fair, to keep this transmitter lightweight, I think, you know, that plastic does work in that sense. But yeah, if you're not too worried about that sort of cheap plasticky build, then it's totally fine. So the next thing I want to talk about is the specs of this microphone. So let's get into that. So the Godox Magic X-T1 is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless transmitter. It has up to 200 meters distance. It has a low cut filter. It has a denoise function. The transmitter weighs 8 grams and the receiver weighs around 50 grams. So it's quite a lightweight setup. It has a sample rate of 48 kilohertz and it's 24 bits, and it's an omnidirectional pickup pattern. What is the battery life on these microphones? So the transmitters have up to 8 hours of battery life, and now with the receiver you can get a maximum of 16 hours, which is, you know, pretty fair for a battery life for microphones. The majority of the time when you're on film shoots, you're not going to be recording for that long, and if you are, I'm very sorry that you're recording that long. Yeah, these microphones last quite a long time. I've only actually had to charge this microphone once since testing it and, you know, playing around with it, so that's actually, you know, pretty good. So the charging time from 0 to 100%, you're looking about 2.5 hours, which is pretty fair. It's pretty standard for a lot of these, you know, transmitters, receivers. If you need to be quick out the door, try to give yourself 2.5 hours to fully charge these microphones before you go on your film shoot. So let's talk about the physical design of this transmitter receiver. So let's look at the receiver. So when you look at the receiver, at the top it has your touchscreen display, it has your power switch button, it has a 3.5mm audio output ports, which is your line out, and you've got a 3.5mm headphone monitoring jack. You've got a down button and up button. You've got a USB-C charging port. That's where you'll be charging up the microphones. So it has a back clip. That's what you use to, I guess, keep your transmitters secure and, you know, lock it in place. And you've also got a detaching button so you can unhook that latch so you can take the clips out, which is pretty self-explanatory. So at the top of the transmitter, you've obviously got the microphone. So you've got one button on this thing. This is your power switch, your denoise button, and your pairing button. So it's an all-in-one button. And you've also got your magnetic back. So that's where you can change it to magnetic, which is what I've got going on here. And you've also got your clip magnetic back as well. So you can put your magnetic clips on that as well. So you've got 3 different modes on this camera. So you have the mono mode, the stereo mode, and the safety track mode, where it records 6 decibels less in the right channel. So you are able to, if you accidentally peak on your main sort of settings, you're able to get your audio quality back. So let's just have a chat about the distance of this microphone. So it does say that it can go up to 200 meters. Let's just play the clip where I actually tested the distance of this. I'm just standing pretty much a meter away from the camera. This is pretty much your standard sort of distance that you will get on pretty much any sort of microphone. So I just thought I'll do a quick turnaround just to see if it cuts out, because it's always line of sight, the microphone to the receiver. So I'm just going to turn around and just keep talking to see if it cuts out. Now, I'm not going to know if this cuts out until I review the footage a little bit later, so just bear with me. So I'm going to start walking backwards. So I'm going to be standing about 5 meters away from my camera, and hopefully you guys can still hear me. There's no dropouts or anything like that. I'm just going to turn around again to see if the signal drops out, and yeah, so that's pretty much 5 meters right there. I'm just keep walking backwards. Keep walking backwards. I'm a sketchy area, so if you see me run from the camera, yeah, it's a pretty sketchy area. So I'm probably about 10 meters away from my camera, from the microphone. So yeah, this is about 10 meters on the Godox Magic XT1 microphone. And once again, I'm going to do a little bit of a spin to see if it cuts out. So yeah, hopefully that didn't cut out. We'll soon find out when I review the footage a little bit later. So I'm going to keep walking backwards. I'm going to keep walking backwards. I'm just taking a line of sight on this. Just make sure there's no people come close. All right, so I'm, I don't know, probably about 30 meters away from the camera. Now, I'm not going to spin just because if I spin, I know for a fact it's going to drop out, so there's no point. So I'm just going to keep walking back and yeah, keep talking. I'm probably about 50, 60 meters away from my camera. I'm getting some weird looks from people over on my left. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I usually try to find parks where there's like no one around, but yeah, I can just see them looking off, being like, why is he filming and walking backwards? So I'm currently on, I don't know, a cricket pitch. I don't know, I'm not really a sports person, but I'm probably about like 100 meters away at this point. Now, honestly, I think when it comes to microphones in general, you're most likely not going to be this far away from your camera. So probably most of the times when I do these distance tests, when I get this far, honestly, there's really no point of being this far. But because it is such a cheap microphone, it's always good to see how well the microphone, you know, works. So now my testing, I actually didn't go up to 200 meters. I pretty much went around 100 meters just because honestly, you don't really need to go 200 meters. But from my testing, it actually goes pretty far, and it, you know, holds a strong connection as long as it's line of sight to the receiver. It actually does a really, really good job. Okay, so I have switched over to the denoise function. So I just thought I would test out the denoise function. I just thought I'd quickly do a quick press of the one and only button on this microphone to switch it over to denoise. How do you know if it's in denoise? Is it has a yellow orange light. So that's when you know that it's in the denoise function. So It's quite noisy outside. You've got birds chirping, you've got some heavy machinery going on just behind the camera here. So maybe it's filtering that out, maybe it's not. Hopefully my voice still sounds pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much my test of this microphone. So what are the pros and cons of the Godox Magic X-T1 microphone? So let's start off with the pros. So I like the design and build quality of the microphones. I like how it's lightweight, it's affordable. I like how you have the transmitters just right underneath the receiver, so it just keeps it compact and everything is together. So that's actually a really cool feature. I do like the audio quality. It's not probably the highest quality of microphones that I've used, but if you're looking for a cheap microphone that's simple to use, especially if you're a content creator, this microphone is honestly great for that. It's pretty good quality. I wouldn't say that's a professional microphone, which I'll be talking about in the cons very soon. I like how when you get the Godox Magic X-T1, they give you a whole bunch of cables that you can use for many different devices. You know, you can connect this up to your USB-C smartphone, your lightning adapter, iPhone. So you have a lot of versatility with this microphone straight out of the box, because a lot of the premium microphones that you get, they tend to make you pay for the adapters separately. So you pretty much get everything right off the bat. So no matter what bit of video equipment you're using, you will be able to use it. And that's what I think is great about this microphone. And the price tag on it, $200 for something like this, is honestly good, considering that if you were to get a premium microphone, you're looking around the $500 mark. So you're saving more than half. Now let's talk about the cons of this microphone. Usually with the cons, this one isn't too much of a con. It's more of a thing that doesn't make it go on that professional level of microphone quality. And that's the lack of a 3.5mm lapel adapter on the transmitter. As a professional, usually what professionals like to do is clip in their own lapel mics just so they can hide these transmitters, you know, from the video camera, just to make it a little bit more professional. Another con is when you're using a mobile phone, there's no real way where you can mount the receiver anywhere, just because the way it's designed for cameras, designed for a cold shoe mount adapter. So when you're shooting on a phone, you might need to get a clip that has a cold shoe adapter on it, so you're able to have it sitting there instead of it dangling on the side, which is what I did in my tests. That's pretty much my thoughts on this microphone, my honest opinions. If you think this is a good quality microphone, don't let that scare you away from getting this microphone. I honestly do think this is a really good microphone for a lot of beginners out there and just social media content creators that just need something basic and ready to go to start filming, and lightweight and easy to use. This microphone is definitely easy to use. Yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay notified for my next uploads. And I'll see you guys next time.